Good afternoon, everyone. Shall we continue? Yes. We were discussing the second chapter, the physical features of India. Physiographical divisions. What are the physiological divisions of India? What are those? What are the relief features? Landforms. What we can find in India. What are those? Yes, from the top, Himalayan mountain ranges, northern plains, desert, then plateau, Indian plateau, coastal lines, then Indian islands of India. So these are the important, the physical features or physiographical features of India. What's the name of chapter? Physical features of India. There, last class actually started to discuss the first concept or first physical features of India, the important physical features of India. What is that? The Himalayan mountain ranges. The Himalayan mountain ranges. What do you mean by ranges? Ranges. It is a continuous connection of mountains. Suppose it's a mountain. So the mountain, if it is connected continuously with other mountains, it's a chain of mountains is called as the mountain ranges. So Himalayan mountain ranges there. So what are the main features of Himalayan mountain ranges? Features, future and future, it's a two different words. What are the features like Guna Lakshana, characters of Himalayan mountain ranges? It's the youngest mountain range, is not. So because it grows every year, then it forms arc. It forms an arc shape, and it has a length of 2,400 kilometers. Then width varies from west to east. In the west, we have around 400 kilometers. As you go towards the east, you will get 200 to 150 kilometers. So it decreases as you go towards the east. It mainly found or it lies in entirely northern part of India. These Himalayan mountain ranges, it has formed due to the convergent plate boundary. That's what we discussed. And we started to discuss about the longitudinal divisions of Himalayan mountain ranges. We have three longitudinal divisions. What are those? One is, what are those? One is Himadri, then Himachal, then Shivalik. Here we have Himadri, then Himachal, and then here we have Shivalik. So about this Himadri we discussed, and the Himachal also we discussed. Now we are in Shivalik. Shivalik mountain ranges. So this Shivalik mountain ranges also what is called referred, or it's also called with some other names. They have some alternative names along with, as like we have in Himadri and Himachal. Same what we have for all these two ranges. Same like that for the Shivalik also we have. What is that? It's also called as Outer Himalayan. Outer Himalayan. Here we have Inner Himalaya, Lesser Himalaya, then Outer Himalaya. Inner Himalaya is also called as Himadri, then Lesser Himalaya is also called as Himachal, then Outer Himalaya is also called as Shivalik mountain ranges. So here all the three ranges are different in its character, in its features. Like in the height, the Himadri, it has more height. Loftiest mountains are found in these ranges. Then this Himachal, it has less height, altitude, we call it as altitude. Height is called as altitude. Yes, Shivalik is having less altitude than any of these. Then this Himadri and Himachal, it has altitude, otherwise height. Altitude, average altitude. It has average altitude of average altitude of around 600 meters to 1100 meters. Then width from 10 to 50 kilometers. It varies. In the western part, we can get the width of a Shivalik up to 50 kilometers. And as it goes towards eastern direction, the width of a Shivalik ranges that decreases, and it has a continuous connected mountain ranges. It has ranges which are continuously connected. That means the Shivalik ranges is continuously connected. There in the Himadri and Himachal, what we discussed, it is broken in between. The height of this Shivalik is somewhat less and it is continuously connected, but we have some other break in between, but not as like this Himadri and Himachal. There in between that have more disconnections. It is not connected. Then height we discuss, length, yes. For all these three ranges, one similar point, like a same point we have, it's about the length. It has a length of 2400 kilometers from west to east. The longitudinal valley. So what do you mean by valley? Last class we discussed about that. In Himachal, the valley, we have a valley. It's a mountain. And here also we have another mountain. So this is called as a valley, the downfall. So we have two types of valley, one V-shaped valley, then U-shaped valley. So it's called as a valley. In the Himalayan mountain ranges, we have a lot of valleys like this. Then it's a latitudinal valley. Here it is a Himadri. Suppose Himadri is this range, the northernmost range. Here we have Himachal, the lesser Himalayan, and here we have Shivalik. Suppose it's a Himalayan mountain ranges. Here, as we go towards the south direction, we get there is somewhat Karnataka and Mudar somewhat. Here, suppose for example, here we have a Himadri, Himachal. In between the Himachal and Shivalik, it is continuously connected. We have a valley. It creates a valley. In between here, we have a valley, as well as there in between these two ranges. We have a valley here. Only in between these two. Not here. It's not. We don't have a valley because it is not regularly. It is not one path. It has a many broken ranges. That's the reason we cannot find such a valleys here. But we have a valleys here, which creates a U-shaped valley. This valley is called as dunes. We call it a longitudinal valley. The longitudinal values in between. Longitudinal valley in between Himachal and Shivalik ranges are called dunes. So for example, we have Dehradun, then Katli dunes, and Patli dunes. These are the examples, the most important dunes where we can find in between these Himachal and Shivalik. It's about Dehradun, Katli, then Patli dunes. These are the three important dunes where you can find here. Then the location of Shivalik is lied or it found in between the Himachal and what we have in south of this Shivalik, what we have? Northern plain. So it lie or it found. It means the Shivalik mountain ranges found in between Himachal ranges and Great Northern Plain of India. It's a Shivalik mountain ranges. Make it fast. It's also called as Outer Himalayan. The height, so height is also called as altitude. You know what the latitude, longitude, so altitude. We should not get confused in between all these three: altitude, latitude, longitude. So width varies from 50 to 10 kilometers, and it has continuously connected. The ranges is continuously connected. The longitudinal valley in between the Himachal and Shivalik is called as dunes. So we have many important dunes over here, like a dune, partly and partly dunes. It's found in between the north, in the south we have a northern part of like northern plains, the Indian northern plain in the south. In the north, we have the Himachal mountain ranges. Have you written is the word? Make it fast. So that's about the three divisions, longitudinal divisions of Himalayan mountain. One is about Himadri, Himachal, then Shivalik. Is that clear? Now we are discussing about the first one, the first physical features of India. We have many more to discuss about this Himalayan mountain range. Make it fast. Is that all? So that's about the three ranges, three divisions. The longitudinal three divisions of Himalayan mountain ranges. So it's the longitudinal divisions. So we have latitudinal divisions also in the Himalayan mountain ranges. Latitudinal divisions, otherwise divisions based on the region. Region-wise divisions we have. Region-wise divisions in Himalaya, 4 divisions are there. These divisions, and here the 3 divisions, longitude divisions, it's happened because of the ranges with the different characters and different features, and with a continuous connection of ranges, we have 3 divisions. How this Himalayan mountain range is formed? As I told, as I given a point, it is a folded mountain. It has formed due to the convergent boundary. So it has formed 3 folds in that because of like a force, the opposite force of these plates. It has formed a 3 force. If you get a paper, suppose if you push the paper in the opposite 2 directions, you will get a 3 folds like that. More than 3 or less than that. So same like that it has formed. So it's a 3 divisions. And latitudinal also we have a divisions. It has the divisions as made by the rivers, the flowing of rivers. You know, there are 3 important rivers which flow from this Himalayan mountain. What are those? The names of rivers? We call it as the Himalayan rivers. What are those? Indus, Ganga, Brahmaputra. These are the 3 important rivers. So these rivers are called as perennial rivers. Perennial rivers is the river which has water in it throughout the year, or which get a flow of water in the river throughout the year is called as perennial river. And the southern part of India, what we have, all the rivers, it's all non-perennial. Means it will not be having the water throughout the year. Seasonally you will get a river as like this Ganga River. It's filled with the water now. Seasonally, during this rainy season, you will get the water in this river. So same like that, there are many rivers, so it's called as non-perennial. We have 3 perennial rivers in a northern part of India that divides these Himalayan ranges into 4 parts. Here we have Indus. So the part in between this Indus and the Sutlej is a branch, one of the branches of river Indus. River Indus is a main branch of river. It's like a main river. So we have 5 important branch of rivers: Indus, Sutlej, Beas, Ravi, and Jhelum and Chenab. These are the important 5 tributaries what we have for this. So in between these Sutlej, let me write, the Sutlej and Indus, part we have is called as Punjab Himalaya, otherwise Kashmir Himalaya, otherwise Himachal Himalaya. So it has three different names. So in between these Satluj and Kali, so we have a Kali. It's a tributary of river Ganga. So in between the river Kali and Satluj, we have another part, another division of Himalaya. It's called as Kumahan Himalaya. Then in between the Kali and Teesta, Teesta is a tributary of Brahmaputra river. So it's called as Nepal Himalaya because this most part of this Himalaya lies in the Nepal. That's the reason it's called as Nepal Himalaya. In between the Teesta and Dibang, it's the tributaries of river Brahmaputra. River Brahmaputra, that means boundary for these Himalayan mountain ranges. Here we get a Brahmaputra that originates here in the Tibet and that crosses the Himalayan mountain ranges in the eastern direction and that get connected with the Ganga. You know about that. So here this Brahmaputra river that forms boundary for these Himalayan mountain ranges, and here we have a tributary sub-river. So the Himalayan mountain ranges in between this tributary Dihang and Teesta is called as Dibang and Dihang. Teesta in between this is called as Assam Himalaya. So because it lies in Assam, Assam Himalaya, Nepal Himalaya, Kumahan Himalaya, then this Kashmir, otherwise Punjab Himalaya. So now we will discuss about the regional division of Himalayan mountain ranges. Regional divisions, otherwise latitudinal. Longitudinal we have 3 and latitudinal we have 4. That's about this. So we have a 4. First, Punjab Himalaya. Punjab Himalaya. So this part of Himalaya or a division of Himalaya that lies in between mainly this Himalaya is divided by the flowing of water. The water, the river, the path, the stream of this river, it has divided. And it is the main reason for having division of Himalayan mountain ranges. Part of Himalaya which lies in between river Indus and river Satluj. Actually, this division is made by the rivers. Then next one, Kumahan Himalaya. Kumahan Himalaya is the second division, longitudinally from the west to east. So this Kumahan Himalaya which lies or the river Satluj in the west, river Satluj in west, and the river Kali in east, divided Himalayan mountain ranges as Kumahan Himalaya. It's the second division here, in between the Satluj and river Kali. Then third, from the west to east, it's about Nepal Himalaya. So this Nepal Himalaya which lie in between lies in between river Kali and river Teesta. Right on. Then fourth one, it's about Assam Himalaya. This Assam Himalaya or the river Teesta in the west and the river Dihang in the east has made the Assam Himalaya, or it has made a division. It's called as Assam Himalaya. Right on this. We'll go for our fourth one. It's Assam Himalaya. It lies in between river Teesta and river Dihang or Dibang. So it's about the latitudinal divisions, otherwise regional divisions of Himalayan mountain ranges. Is that all? So Himalayan mountain ranges, it has formed as a source for many important rivers and sub-rivers. There are more than 200 rivers, sub-river, along with the sub-rivers which flows and which gets a source from these Himalayan mountain ranges. Where we can get a water from the Himalayan mountain ranges? Somebody is sitting on the top of Himalayan mountain ranges pouring water. No, is it not? It's not a correct answer. There, Himalayan mountain ranges is covered by the ice. Why? As the altitude increases, temperature decreases. Is it not? So Himalayan mountain ranges average height, altitude is about 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers to 8,848 meters of Mount Everest. Is it not? So there, as you go up, temperature decreases. When the temperature decreases, for the low temperature, the water molecules turns into the liquid and solid. So that's the reason it has formed into the gaseous and the solid. So ice, it got an ice form, the water, liquid water turns into the ice form. As you know, the condensation, it takes place in this area, in this zone, the atmosphere. So that's the reason the peak of, from the off towards the peak of mountain ranges, it's filled with this ice. So because of this high temperature and global warming, it is getting melt. When the ice gets melts and it moves towards slopy area. Always the water flows towards slopy area. River never rivers, you know. So that when this melted water or melted ice that moves towards southern direction in the same path, it has created the river. So that's how the many rivers, the important sub-rivers and the main rivers got bath from this, and it's been flowing. It is getting the water because continuously it is covered with the ice and it is under melt, and nowadays it's increasing because of global warming. That's what we discussed about these longitudinal divisions and the latitudinal divisions. We have another one, like it's about the Purvanchal Himalaya. Purvanchal Himalayas. It's the last division in this. It's about Purvanchal Himalaya. Purva, you know, east, we have here. So Purvanchal Himalaya. Here, the Himalaya has not got over here. As I told, as we discussed, this Himalayan mountain ranges, chain of connection area started from the Pamir Knot. There is a Pamir Knot in the western part of Asia. Knot means it's a gunto. It's a connection of chains of this mountain range start from there. Knot. The name of that knot is called as Pamir. So this Himalayan mountain ranges, it has started from there, but it has not appeared there. It has only appeared here because of this Indian landmass. When it has collided with that, it has appeared. Then again it is continued, it is not gone over there. So when it has gone towards the eastern part of India, this Himalayan mountain ranges, it has started to turn towards southern direction. it has turned southern direction. So it's called as Purvanchal Himalaya. And you will get here we have a Myanmar. Here Myanmar we have this Mizoram, Manipur and Nagaland. So it's about Purvanchal Himalaya. And again it's continued. We have Bay of Bengal here. Again it's continued, but it's not found over here. So after some length of kilometer, we got some land here in the down. So it's called as Andaman Nicobar Islands. That's its connection of Himalayan mountain range there. Some Andaman Nicobar it has formed due to the volcanoes, but most of the islands in Andaman Nicobar it has formed due to these mountain ranges, like collision of a plates. That's all. Here we discuss Purvanchal. This Purvanchal Himalaya is found in the easternmost part of India, Indian landmass. Actually, this forms as a boundary in between India and Myanmar. As I told, this Purvanchal, it starts from here after the Dihang river. So it starts from Arunachal Pradesh to Mizoram, states of India. Starts means run. It's found from this Arunachal. We have Arunachal Pradesh over here, and here as you go towards down, you will get a Mizoram. So it's found there. These mountain ranges it turned towards southern direction from the end of Assam Himalaya. So last division, latitudinal last division of Himalaya is Assam Himalaya. From after that, this Himalayan, whatever the ranges we have left with that, so it has turned towards the southern direction. It's called as Purvanchal, like a Purva Himalaya. The Himalaya of east is a Purvanchal Himalaya. It has formed, or it has created as a boundary in between the neighboring country Myanmar and India. So it's about this Purvanchal Himalaya. So after that, what we have here is in between that we have Brahmaputra river. Is it over? We have prominent hills over there. There are many important hills which is there in the Purvanchal Himalaya. Is that all? Make it fast. It is found in the easternmost part of India, Indian landmass. It is formed a boundary in between India and Myanmar. It starts from Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, and it turns towards south when it starts from the end of Assam Himalaya. From there, it has turned towards the southern direction, and it is continued, but it is not found further because we have a sea there, Bay of Bengal. Is that all? Okay. Make it fast. So that's what about the first concept, or first physiological division of India. It's Himalayan mountain range. I hope you understood about these Himalayan mountain ranges. You will get a question based on this every concept what we discussed. It's very much important to remember all the concepts what we discussed about Himalayan mountain ranges. So now we go for the next important physical divisions. What is that? It's the northern plain. The northern plain of India. The great northern, we say it's a great northern plain because the most of the area in India in Indian landmass, it's a plain area. You know, plain area is a flat surface. It's a plain area. The mountains, it's up elevated areas. Desert is fully filled with the sands, and it's some sand dunes. Undulations are there. As you go towards the south direction, you have plateau, and it's a tableland, up elevated land from the sea level. It's a plateau. We'll discuss about that. Then coastal plain, you know, it's a connection of a land and water body. It's a boundary in between the land and water body. It's called as coastal line. We'll discuss. Now, I don't write, but it's just information, like basic things. What we will be discussing about this northern plain, as like we discussed for this Himalayan mountain ranges, like how it has formed. Now we will discuss how this northern plain has formed. So we know how the Himalayan mountain ranges has formed. This Indo-Australian plate. Suppose it's the south pole. Here we have northern pole. It's a Indo-Australian tectonic plate. Here it is Eurasian plate. In the northern part means Asia and the Russia. So when these two convergent boundary collided with each other, this portion, it has up elevated, and this, the part of Eurasia, it has gone down. So this was the Himalayan mountain ranges. This is how the Himalayan mountain ranges has formed. So when it has means bent towards up, we got a shallow area here. Shallow area means halla. We got a halla here because when it has collided, this portion came up, and the bottom of this plate is made up of granite. The top of this plate is not made up of basalt rock, you know. So as I given the point, in the Himalayan mountain ranges, in the bottom of Himalayan mountain ranges, we get a granite. Here we get a granite. So it's a one proof to prove that it's a plate which has came up. It's a one of the proof. So here earlier this plate was a shallow area. So when it has formed Himalayan mountain ranges, due to high altitude, the ice is captured here, means it has the mountain peak is covered by the ice. Then it started to melt. When it has melt, it moved towards southern direction. When the ice got melted, it turned into the liquid form. Then water that started to move towards the southern direction. Why not north? Because in the southern direction we had a shallow area. It was very big halla. So this river that started to move towards halla, then while the river that moves from a great height towards the southern direction, that carries the sediments along with that. So the sediments of a Himalayan mountain ranges, it has carried some particles. It has carried by this river and then deposited in this area. In this area it is deposited. By depositing same, and when this process has continued for the crores and lakhs of years, this shallow area is filled by the sediments. It has filled by the particles which is carried by the river from the top of Himalayan mountain ranges. So that's what we call it as a northern plain. The northern plain is totally filled by the alluvial soil. This alluvial soil is carried from these Himalayan mountain ranges. So that's about great northern plain. So that's what we will discuss, the northern plain. I hope you understood about this. It's a history. See, in the geography we discuss about history. So that's what? It has connection. Every subject and every discipline, it has a connection. Even in the history we will discuss the geography and the political science. Everything is there. So that's what? We will continue with the discussion of the northern plain in the next class.